Tonight in League One, we set our sights on the scenic city of Chattanooga, Tennessee, where the home opener for Chattanooga Red Wolves could not come at a better time. Riding off of a historic win against crosstown rivals Chattanooga FC in the US Open Cup this week, the Red Wolves return to the Den tonight, where they will defend a 4-game unbeaten streak in their home opener against visiting Tormenta FC. This is how it went down in the midweek. The Chattanooga Derby taking place for the first time ever between Chattanooga FC, an MLS Next Pro team, and the Red Wolves, who took the lead through Omar Hernandez, a beautiful free kick, but Chattanooga FC would strike back with a free kick of their own. Pick that one out of the top corner. This thing went the distance in front of over 12,000 fans, and the winning penalty scored in front of the away fans by Owen Green. That brings us to our News Channel 12 player to watch, Omar Hernandez. You saw him score that free kick. He's also the owner of Chattanooga Red Wolves' only goal so far in league play this season. Scored on a beautiful curler in Week 1 against FC Naples. But the Red Wolves weren't the only one with some drama in the Open Cup this week. Tormenta had their hands full against Foro SC, a team, an amateur team that has been known to pull a cup set. They beat Texoma in their opening round match, and look at that finish to tie the game at 1-1. But it was Mr. Reliable, Mason Tunbridge, finding the leading goal scorer this season, Yaniv Bazzini. That was in the 83rd minute, and they thought they had it wrapped up. Foro FC tie it from the penalty spot in late on in the game, but in stoppage time, Bazzini digs out a cross to Vivas. The shirt comes off. A 3-2 win for Tormenta coming into this one. Gabriel Cabral is our player to watch for the visitors, a man who spent the last 2 seasons in the USL Championship with Miami FC, and he's back with Tormenta, where he is the lone player who will play tonight, who took place in the 2022 USL League One final between these two teams, which Tormenta took. So Chattanooga Red Wolves, the home opener against South Georgia Tormenta. If we get half the drama that we had in the Open Cup this week, we should be in for an absolute treat tonight. We got starting lineups coming after this. A new number 9 for Chattanooga Red Wolves. Stay with us.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Why do you always seem to be on that last flight home? Why is the customer always right, even when they're wrong? It's because when it's your business, you're all in. And no one's all in with you like EPB. Only EPB is all in with 100% fiber fast internet that's always your best value. Plus experts all in to help you 24/7. We're all in Chattanooga because we're all in this together. EPB for your business. We're all in.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Welcome back, League One fans. We are just moments away from kickoff in Chattanooga, and we are giving you our starting lineups. First, for Chattanooga Red Wolves, there's a big switch up top. Matt Bentley dropped to the bench for the first time this season. Zahir Vasquez gets his first start with the Red Wolves. However, the rest of the lineup pretty consistent from that team that came out victorious against Chattanooga FC in the midweek. And Vasquez looking to repay his former coach, Scott McKenzie, where he played under Park City Red Wolves back in 2022 and 2023 before McKenzie made the jump up to USL League One. So he is back under his old coach and a player brought in this season to help bring some of that depth up top, replacing Bentley, who had scored 2 goals this season, both in the Open Cup. Now let's switch gears and take a look at our visitors, South Georgia Tormenta. They were forced into 3 changes from their last league match. 2 of them due to injury. Your starting wingers, per usual, would be Jonathan Yanjo and Niall Reed-Steven, both of them out with knocks today. So you see Taylor Gray and Handwala Buwana filling in those spots on the left and the right, respectively. And then in the back, there's a change as well. Callum Stretch, Puerto Rico international, coming in for Anatolia Prepelica, who is suspended with a red card and unavailable for selection tonight. We pinpointed Gabriel Cabral, number 8 there in the middle. He is a key player to watch, and the only starter remaining from when these 2 teams squared off for the 2022 USL League One final 3 years ago. It will be a tasty one. Yes, some teams that are towards the bottom of the standings in the early going. It's been tough sledding for both franchises since that 2022 final. 0 combined playoff appearances between the 2. But early in the season, things are looking different, especially for Red Wolves. We talked about how they are coming off that huge win in the midweek against Chattanooga FC. They ride that momentum into the home opener tonight, and a team that is 4 games unbeaten to start the season. Every single match they've played so far has been a draw after 90 minutes. They're 2 games in the Open Cup, going all the way to penalties, and they have moved on to round 3 in that competition, just like Tormenta. Now, the visitors tonight come in 1 win, 2 losses in League One play this season. And this is their first road contest of the year. They've played every single match, including the Open Cup, at home in South Georgia. So a unique dynamic between these 2 teams. If we look at the series history between them, Tormenta all-time leads 8-5-3. 8 wins, 5 losses, 3 draws. But since Scott McKenzie took charge of the Red Wolves, it's been a perfectly even series. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss in 3 matches. There was also late drama last season when this game took place in Chattanooga. A 3-2 result with a 91st minute winner from Siobhan Marsh, who has since departed to Greenville Triumph. So a lot of drama, a lot of history between these 2 League One OGs who certainly have fallen on tough times recently, but a lot of positivity to start the season for both squads, highlighted by their Open Cup runs, which will continue in about a week and a half's time. Still got 1 more League One weekend in between, but then they will be back for round 3 action, and both on the road against USL Championship teams. Chattanooga Red Wolves got the cross-country matchup with Las Vegas Lights, which comes after a game at AV Alta, so they'll be able to stay out on the West Coast, and Tormenta will stay local and face Charleston Battery in the Open Cup. But the business on hand is League One play, where it's the home opener for Chattanooga Red Wolves, and we are underway with the Red Wolves in that nice maroon kit, head to toe. South Georgia traveling in white with waves of blue across the front. My name is Parker Johnson. So happy to be here with you for League One action on ESPN+. Some bobbly balls as Tormenta play across the back line. And in terms of the style of play that you can expect to see tonight, you would definitely expect Tormenta to be playing that slow and steady possession much more often than Chattanooga Red Wolves. Red Wolves, a team that have only scored 1 goal in their 2 league games so far, less than 1 combined expected goal across those 2 games. And this is more so the shape you'll see. A lot of long balls, such as that one sent in the direction of Joshua Ramos, who picks it up here, dribbles around the corner, tried to split through past Oscar Jimenez. Pedro Hernandez sticking a foot in. But his opposite, number 14, Alon Dre, wins it back for Tormenta. And Gabriel Cabral will get the possession rolling for Ian Cameron's Fighting Whites. Cabral, the link man, once again, as Simba Kasanzu gets his first touch of the ball. Callum Stretch into the lineup tonight, replacing Anatolia Prepelica, who is suspended with a red card. He previously had paired with Kasanzu at center back in every match in League and Open Cup play for Tormenta. And an early whistle against South Georgia. Set piece coming up on a blustery evening from Chattanooga. Pretty warm temperatures, but that wind will definitely play a factor, and especially on set piece plays like this. This one overseen by Omar Hernandez and Joshua Ramos. Ramos dashes over, and it's played short to Walefi. He's looking for the return to Ramos. They've also got another body back there, but it's headed away by Tormenta, and Gray trying to play out of the back. Walefi comes away with it. The possession a little disjointed for Chattanooga, but they're able to regroup and get their players back in position. Walefi on the control. 7th year with Chattanooga. Sends it long and into the hands of Austin Pack, first-year goalkeeper for Tormenta. Ramos again from that left wing back position, and Jason Smith with an errant touch. He's been hailed by his coach for his ability to play with both feet. Didn't show it there, and this is a quick throw for Tormenta. But a quick steal and a chance to run in transition for the Red Wolves. Dashing through the middle, Zahir Vasquez looking to be a nuisance for Callum Stretch. Looked like that ball ran out of play before he sent it forward. Indeed it did. A deep throw here for Chattanooga. And again, you can see how quickly they want to strike. Scott McKenzie told me his style is not about how much possession we keep, it's what we do with it. It's about maximizing those possessions. And in this case, trying to get the most out of what looks to be a long throw-in. You can see 6'5" Declan Waters, the Irish-American, battling in there with Kasanzu and getting a word from the referee. Could imagine that's just about where this ball is headed. Keep an eye on the 6-yard box as Hernandez launches. Waters went down. It's headed away, and Tunbridge to complete the clearance. Only out to the halfway line where it's met by Kimball Jackson. Walefi launches forward once again. Some contact as Vasquez went up for it. Tormenta happy to play out. A lot of bobbles in the early going off of this pitch at CHI Memorial Stadium. And a clean tackle from Michael Knapp. Plenty of time for Hernandez, but he will drop it back and play this one slowly. Already 5 minutes through, hardly a stoppage in the play. 0-0 in the early going between Chattanooga and Tormenta. Another through ball, unable to find Vasquez, former Central Valley Fuego striker. Pack. Tormenta not fazed by the bobbling ball as they build up from the back. Gray cutting inside. Cabral outlets to Oscar Jimenez. Great energy to start this match. No sign of any weary legs from the midweek action. Chattanooga with one less day of rest since they played on Wednesday. They had the benefit, though, of their technically away match being played across town at Finley Stadium. A record-setting crowd of 12,131. That was remarkably only the fourth biggest crowd in Chattanooga FC history, a very famous amateur club there in Chattanooga. But it was the most ever for a non-weekend game and the second most ever for a second-round game in the U.S. Open Cup. So it's Taylor Gray here, a man who actually grew up, or I shouldn't say grew up, but started his professional career with Chattanooga FC. He was the scorer of their first goal in MLS Next Pro when the club moved up from NISA into Next Pro in the Division III level. Had 9 goals, 4 assists last season with Chattanooga FC. One of just many players with ties to this great soccer city, and that was really the takeaway from both coaches as they examine this match and look back at the action in midweek. Ian Cameron and Scott McKenzie both commenting on what a great moment it was for the entire city, regardless of what side you're on. Certainly buoyed the Red Wolves fans to get that big win, but just showing the overall passion for the sport in Chattanooga, the fact that both teams have a role to play, and raucous crowd that they created is something that a lot of people will certainly want to see again, given that that was just the first time Chattanooga FC and Chattanooga Red Wolves had ever met in a competitive match. Cheeky flick from the former Tormenta man, Ramos, who then is whistled for a foul against Tunbridge, his teammate from last season. Sanzu with a loose pass across the field. And now he steps in to try to challenge Vasquez. Omar Hernandez almost picked it up, but swept away by Callum Stretch. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. It's been video game numbers in this fixture the last 4 times these teams have met. An average of 5.8 goals per contest, at least 4 combined in every single match. So it may be 0-0, but as a long shot comes in from Jackson, that could be what we're in for tonight, despite the scoreless start through 10 minutes. And forced into an early change here, Tormenta. This is Aaron Walker coming on as Taylor Gray was not able to continue. Came to the side and they gave him a moment to see if perhaps he could return. But the early call sent out to the player coach, the 34-year-old Walker, who spent a long time with Greenville Triumph and in his second season in Statesboro, forced in to play a bit of an unfamiliar position. He's certainly seen it all across his career, but all of a sudden he looks like he's parked here on the right wing, Tormenta was already down Jonathan Nyanjo and Niall Reed-Steven from the start. A couple of new players this season who have been off to flying opens to their Tormenta careers. 3 goals and 2 assists between them coming into today's match across all competitions. So certainly short-handed on the wings, and the issue gets worse as Gray forced to depart early on for Tormenta. See how that changes the dynamic here. Perhaps Oscar Jimenez given a bit more attacking freedom from his right back position, with the more defensive-minded Walker pairing up with him on that right side now. Will we see more out of the left? Alves is there. He's passing now with stretch and has the outlet for Hanzwala Buana on the left wing today. Buana, one of those players whose career got a great start and then just didn't quite kick on. An unfortunate series of injuries, had to take a couple years off, and even Coach Cameron admitting that he is still working his way back into his highest, sharpest form. But as a man who made it all the way to the Seattle Sounders first team, part of an MLS Cup winning side, certainly has the talent to impact things at the League One level once he gets back to his best, as now it's Oscar Jimenez going down. Last thing Tormenta need here. Getting into that busier part of the season. They did also have to make a extra signing this week just to bolster out the match day squad. Finley O'Brien is on the bench today after being signed literally yesterday. A defender who hopefully will not be needed tonight, but the way things are going, anybody's guess, as Dre finds the outlet to Gabriel Alves. Alves lofting it up the line, opting to go a bit more direct for Bazzini, and he clatters through the back of Waters. A king-size matchup between center forward and center back. Israeli Bazzini has continued his remarkable form that he saw his final season at Vermont last year at the collegiate ranks, coming away a national champion with the Catamounts, and certainly leading the line for them. 14 goals in his final collegiate season, and he's already got 3 for Tormenta in all competitions. A goal and an assist on Tuesday night against Foro SC. Jason Smith, the long ball intercepted by Alves. Pedro Hernandez working into the corner. Stretch forced to send it out of play. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Another long throw from Omar Hernandez, and a foul spotted against Declan Waters coming out for Tormenta.
The official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Bull.
Another injury concern for Tormenta. This has been a rough start on their first road travel of the season. hard to tell exactly. I believe it's Gabriel Cabral, number 8. You can just about see the captain's armband there on his left arm as he gets some attention from the training staff.
The session is brought to you tonight by Coca-Cola. Quench your thirst with a Coca-Cola beverage. Together it tastes better. Coca-Cola is the exclusive beverage partner.
Here is a look at what happened on the long throw to Cabral. Replays tonight presented by Rodriguez Dentistry. Score a winning smile. Make sure he goes through the full examinations there. The Brazilian, native of Petropolis, played D2 college soccer at University of Charleston before starting his journey with South Georgia Tormenta and winning that title in his first ever season at Tormenta Stadium. And it was a truly remarkable story. His mother had never seen him play in the United States. The first chance for her to see him play professionally was in the semifinals that year. And because both Chattanooga and Tormenta pulled upsets in the semifinal, Tormenta, as the 3 seed, was able to host the final. And his mom, in attendance for that one, he said she is the biggest inspiration in his life and somebody who has sacrificed everything to get him where he has been. Took his game to Miami FC for 2 seasons and now back at home with Tormenta as the cross whipped in. And the away side dealing with some pressure from Chattanooga. A jolted start as they have faced multiple injuries in the opening 20 minutes. But the good news, Cabral seems to be okay. He's back there in the middle of the pitch, patrolling his defensive midfield position. Hernandez has been a problem early on with those long throws. They use the guise of it to work it short this time. See if they try that routine again. They will towards the corner. Vasquez got a lot of meat on that header, but nobody in the vicinity, and it provides a counterattacking opportunity for the lone man Bazzini with Tormenta. He did well to hold it up. Use his teammates to spread the ball out to the left side in Alves. Kasanzu. Stretch to Alves once more. Now Aaron Walker on the right wing. Tight possession, certainly his specialty. Usually plays as a central midfielder, Walker. He has started 3 of the 5 matches in all competitions, and he's appeared in every single one. Although I'm sure he didn't expect to find himself playing right wing in the early stages here. Buckle up, fans. EPB Fiber Optics delivers the fastest internet speeds in Chattanooga over the area's only 100% fiber optic network. Find the recklessly fast speed your home or business needs at epb.com. Walefi putting it back in play for the Red Wolves as we hit the 20-minute mark. Very few chances to speak of from either side. Just one shot on goal from either team. And a measly .01 expected goal coming on that. It was from Red Wolves, but very limited entries into either penalty area so far. A game really played between the boxes. perhaps a sign of some of the attacking options that were not available for both sides from the start. No Matt Bentley up top for Chattanooga. No Nianjo, no Reed Steven, and then the injury early on to Taylor Gray. That's their top 3 winger options for Tormenta out of the action. But as far as the possession is concerned, 58% split so far for Tormenta. They've completed over 100 passes, just 74 for the Red Wolves. Set piece swung in. Omar Hernandez. The initial header missed. It falls for Pedro Hernandez. Taken down by Tunbridge. He's fine to play it long and get his numbers forward. Coca-Cola, the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Thirsty for a goal in the early going. A fixture that has produced so many over the years. 3-2 when these two teams met here last season. Maybe Aaron Walker can provide it. Jason Smith saves us from the game's first corner. A 21-year-old falling on it. On the field, smart decisions win games. Off the field, smart decisions save lives. If you've been drinking, don't drive. Pass your keys to a sober friend. Call a rideshare or take public transit. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. A reminder from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Ramos getting the ball stuck under his foot momentarily. But he continues here. He's got Vasquez and Pedro Hernandez. The drop-off, a little bit mistimed. Tormenta seemed to be under instruction to go long. I wonder if the bobbliness of the pitch in the early going, pardon me for making up my own words there, but I mean, you can just see it on every pass, even those dribbles. As Ramos got it caught up, you see the short pass there, knocking up along the turf. Perhaps part of the reason that Tormenta going long a bit more than usual. Seems like once they're in the attacking half, like they are here, they're okay with playing some of those shorter passes. As the ball swung into Bazzini, has to be dealt with by Walefi, dropping in between the center backs and making a crucial clearance before Tunbridge could attack it at the back post. So the game's first corner here in the 25th minute. Tunbridge looking to bring the game to life. Great ball into the back post. Kasanzu flew past it. Alves perhaps with a chance to send it back in. Buana. Oh, Bazzini was there, and it skims off the head of the Red Wolves defender. Important defending from Ramos. Same place from Tunbridge, and it's over everyone, and goal kick coming for Chattanooga. The USL on CBS kicks off tomorrow with two former USL Championship title winners battling it out. Join us at 4 p.m. Eastern as undefeated San Antonio FC takes on Western Conference rival Phoenix Rising FC. That's tomorrow on CBS. Smith almost got himself in trouble here. Hantwala Buana comes onto it with a chance to run at Walefi. He spots Walker, set for Tunbridge. Right-footed effort. Cannons off the defender as Vasquez carries away. A foul against Tunbridge in transition. Unable to connect with Michael Knapp, his midfield partner. Tormenta continuing the direct approach. Don't forget, Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. In front of the coolers there, you see Scott McKenzie. Alves gets set to throw it in. His third season with the Red Wolves, his second full season. Took over as an interim at the end of the 2023 campaign. Nice interplay from Tormenta. One of the best sequences we've seen will result here in an attacking corner for the visitors. It was Toby Jonop who blocked that ball back out of play, and he's the one who's down here. Get another look at that one on the replay presented by Rodriguez Dentistry. Jono back in play today. He received a red card on the late tussle that took place in their opening draw between Chattanooga and FC Naples. Had to serve the suspension against Charlotte Independence, and back in his center back position today. He steps off briefly as we take this corner. Headed out first by Knapp. Jackson pressured from behind, and it forces him into a loose clearance with his left foot. In the background, Jono re-entering the play just in time to make sure that Yaniv Bazzini wasn't too close to Jason Smith before he came out to claim that one. And Dre trying to be a bit more creative. Cabral with space to turn. Got his fellow Brazilian, Alves. Again, one of those situations you usually see Tormenta play out of the back, trying to go long and ultimately not able to sustain the possession. But in return, Red Wolves seem happy to give it right back to him some of the time. And here comes Pedro Hernandez, dashing up the touchline. Sorry, that was Omar. Very few moments that either team has been able to get behind the defense in the opening 31 minutes. Check out the new 2025 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit, along with t-shirts, scarves, novelty items, and much more at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. Nice crowd on hand tonight at CHI Memorial Stadium. Certainly not the same fervor in the air that came with that tense Chattanooga Derby game in the midweek. But Coach Scott McKenzie saying that that energy has certainly carried over from the win, one that really gave vindication to the Red Wolves fans, he said, and sparked a bit of that pride to life in the Chattanooga League One side. Tunbridge on. Cabral combining. Alves spots a switch of play, and a great one at that to Jimenez. We have seen him advance a bit further with Walker as his support. Now here comes Aaron Walker combining with Tunbridge. Gears shifting into motion for South Georgia. Buana able to see the field as he cuts inside. Alondre. Alves to Cabral. Austin Pack will get a touch here in the build-up. And a long ball to Bazzini, unable to knock it off to Tunbridge, who has thrived in his role as sort of that support forward, if you will. Certainly a number 10 when the team has the ball. He'll join up alongside Bazzini on those long passes, and when Tormenta are in their more defensive shape. But he's popped up at all the right moments this season. A brace in match day 1 against Richmond, despite the losing effort. He had an assist to Bazzini in the Open Cup on what appeared at the time to be the winner for Tormenta, although they would require some stoppage time dramatics to snatch the win and advance to the 3rd round. A handball as South Georgia tried to keep that pretty possession going. It's all broken up by Kimball Jackson. Oscar Jimenez sees Buana on the far side, locates it. Whipped in by Alves, a little bit short for Bazzini. Waters and Walefi combined for the clearance, only as far as Callum Stretch. Just 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Only 3 shots combined between the two teams so far. High boot there from Cabral. He is the first man to enter the referee's pocket, but Amin Hadzic dishing out a yellow to the Tormenta captain. plays presented by Rodriguez Dentistry as Bazzini knocked it down. And it didn't seem like Cabral really even saw Walefi flying through there, but by virtue of the height of his foot and slightly lowered head from Walefi, probably looked a bit worse than it was. But one of those player safety cautions. I think the case in that instance. Throw-in goes to Tunbridge. He's wrestled down by Declan Waters, fairly so, as Chattanooga clear it away. They keep it on the ground with Walefi passing patiently. Waters to carry it out. Back to Smith. Looking for a short option first, but indeed opts for the long ball. Headed by Dre. He was fouled by Hernandez. Tormenta getting the ball back in play. Tunbridge chance to stretch his legs, but not for long as Knapp comes in from behind. And he will join Cabral in the book. A flurry of yellow cards as the first half coming to a conclusion, and a bit of handbags off the ball as well, while the referee talks to Knapp and explains his decision. Here's another look at that one. A moment to breathe some life into this game. Finally, a player on the turn, going on the dribble, and sucked right out of it by Knapp from behind. Those are the pockets that Tunbridge is so dangerous in, and you have to believe that Knapp knows that from the scout, especially given the injuries that Tormenta are working through right now, both from the start and indeed in this first half. Tunbridge really is the main creative threat left out there. Outside of him, the best opportunities have come from the fullbacks. They are not always there to get involved, so certainly he's the man in the middle making it happen. And he's lining up this free kick here as well. Tunbridge from deep takes a touch. The wall does its job. And a corner coming for Tormenta. Will there be a crack in this walled up Red Wolf side? Tunbridge looking to smash it open. Served up, second post, flying header from John Ope. Jimenez with a swing and a miss. And again, it's a very brief moment with the game in a slightly stretched state as Ramos bursts it up the sideline. Not sure what the whistle was for there, but it aided Tormenta defensively in transition. Beautiful switch of play from Mason Tunbridge to Oscar Jimenez, enjoying the freedom afforded him in the first half. Walker, again, it's John Ope contorting his body and sending it behind for a corner. Dominica, under 23 international. Can't help but grin at the way he plays the game, throwing his body every which way. Tunbridge has had a fair few opportunities from this corner flag. He needs to sort out his contact lens, it appears, before taking this one. All good. Wolves there first, right back to Tunbridge. Flicked header. Too high from Alondre. The botched clearance leading to a second opportunity from the corner for Tormenta, and that, without a doubt, our best opportunity of the match. One more look at it. Flashing just high, skimming off the top of the head of Alondre. Select is proud to be the official matchball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. That iconic ball tossed in by Tormenta. Just 2 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, until we reach our halftime break. Forget, we'll have highlights. We'll have a look around USL League One. Plenty more to come at halftime. And this would certainly be a devastating time to strike for either side. Omar Hernandez, see the wheels turning. Asking for a few extra yards on the free kick as well. Well, Ramos playing with the boots untied. That is a signal of a true baller. It's a flex to say that you don't actually have to tie your shoes because you never reach a full sprint. You're in that good of control. At least that's the lore that I've always been led to understand. Seen players do it in training. Far fewer do it in the matches, but that's an interesting little tidbit there from the Virgin Islands International. Certainly not short of confidence. Smith a little short on the punt, but it works out for Chattanooga as they flick a couple headers forward. Hernandez on the spin. He's got his fellow Hernandez. That's Pedro storming through, going down just inside the edge of the area. Maybe looking for a cheeky penalty. 15 seconds left of the 45. Tormenta unable to bring it forward quickly. Maybe one more chance for Red Wolves, depending on our stoppage time number. And that ball got away from Omar Hernandez, looking for the deft left-footed pass. Looks like he had a little channel available to Vasquez. This pack crowded out by the edge of his area. Indeed, there will be some more time. About 4 minutes added on here. We've had a series of injuries plaguing both sides in this first half. If you joined us late, you see Aaron Walker at right wing from Tormenta. No, that was not part of the plan. Taylor Gray had to leave this match early. Part of that 4 additional minutes that we have here, and hopefully not the same case for Kasanzu, who took a hard fall and looks to be favoring his hand after an awkward landing. another position that Tormenta are a little bit short coming into the match. They've got Callum Stretch getting the start tonight in replacement of Anatolia Prepelica, who is suspended for a red card in the last match. Kasanzu still looking very spry as he gets to the long ball first. Can Omar Hernandez create something for Red Wolves? Happy to knock it all the way back to Smith. Long we go again. Kasanzu called into action. Still see him holding that right hand awkwardly. Imagine at this point he's just trying to make it to the halftime break. It does also alter those substitution plans for a manager as well when you have to make an unexpected injury sub, so it kind of takes up one of those substitution windows that you're allowed throughout the match. Halftime does not count as one, so that would be the benefit of if Kasanzu needs to come out and he's able to wait at least until the break. Tormenta racking up 70% possession over the last 15 minutes of this one. They've added a couple shots to their first half tally. It's still just 3 in the contest, and neither team has put a shot on frame. Now we have a whistle from the referee as we stop to get attention for Omar Hernandez. Amin Hadzic signaled to his head. That's why he has to stop the game here. Extra precaution always taken if there's any possibility of a head injury. You see Omar Hernandez going through the concussion protocol. Some early halftime hydration for the players in the meantime. A series that in the past has promised goals. 5.8 per match over the last 4 times these teams have squared off in League One. Hasn't exactly been the case tonight, but showing the stakes and the tension in play in this bottom of the table clash early on in the campaign. The 3 points that both sides will desperately want here in the home opener for Chattanooga. Tormenta's first road trip of the year. So we're past the 4 minutes, but a little bit more time to be added on. Hernandez waiting to re-enter the field of play, even if it's momentary for Red Wolves. Now he is finally waved back on by Hadzic. As we tick toward the 50-minute mark. Ramos. Vasquez comes onto it. Came back from an offside position. So we blow for halftime. Scoreless at the break in the home opener for Chattanooga Red Wolves. A side that is 4 games unbeaten. Every game this season has finished in a draw. It certainly has looked that way, and a bit of a stalemate here in the first half, but plenty to discuss at the halftime break. We got first half highlights. We got to look back at last week in League One. And of course, our news and notes. Red Wolves 0, Tormenta FC 0. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
He shoots, and he scores! Do you know how fast you were going? 2.5 gig. With kids on the couch.
New 2.5 gig internet from EPB.
Slow down.
It's recklessly fast.
Too fast.
With SmartNet plus Wi-Fi.
Violation.
Turbocharging all your devices. More than twice the speed of the gig for just a little more. Only from EPB.
That is recklessly fast.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
League One. But more action as we shift gears back to Week 5 coming up after this. Your score at halftime is Chattanooga 0, South Georgia 0. Stay with us on ESPN+.
And it's a tremendous finish! San Antonio FC! Unreal! And Phoenix rising!
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to the League One halftime show, live from Chattanooga. And we take a look at our USL League One news and notes. It's a successful round 2 in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. A league record 9 USL League One teams have advanced to the third round of the Open Cup, where those championship teams that made the playoffs last season will drop in. So certainly expect some amped up competition when we get back to league play. or cup play rather, but in league play, it's a home opener for AV Alta taking place later tonight. So set your notifications, your ESPN app, keep it handy. They're expecting over 5,000 fans in Lancaster, California against fellow expansion side Westchester SC. That should be a banger on some League One after dark. But as we enter April and we leave March, we got 4 nominees for our League One Player of the Month. And we are going to go ahead and take a look at those so you can see Leo Castro, Chris Henderlong, Darwin Espinal, and Juan Obregón Jr. and the start that they got off to this season in league play. A few of the great strikers around the heartbeat of U.S. soccer. We'll see that in just a moment, but quickly a look at Team of the Week from Week 4. We saw the highlights of Heel and Pelaez scoring 2 goals apiece, and that big win for Spokane Velocity, placing a number of players on the list. Omaha well represented as well for their win over Tormenta. And then you see Derek Ephard, the Henny Darby hero, and Jonathan Bolaños and Toby Adewole, goal scorers for Westchester, getting into the first team as well, which is managed by Lee Feedman of Spokane Velocity. Here's what else we got on tap this week coming up. A couple of midweeks as well between Greenville Triumph and Knoxville. They just played in the Cup. And then you got Richmond Kickers taking on Omaha, a couple of Wednesday matches, a Friday night showdown between Charlotte and Forward Madison, and then your typical Saturday action, FC Naples against Richmond in their second game of the week. Portland Hearts of Pine taking on Tormenta at 7:30, and then the nightcap with AV Alta and the Red Wolves, who will be coming out for a second half of action, trying to set up a win heading into that road in March. Don't forget, you can vote. Check out the USL on social media after you watch this video and get a taste for the flavor of the month.
Who grew up playing club soccer 7 miles from Mount Vernon, buries it. Westchester is a soccer county.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
He shoots, and he scores!
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Welcome back to CHI Memorial Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Parker Johnson here with you on ESPN Plus for the second half of action between Chattanooga Red Wolves and Tormenta FC. 0-0 is the score at the halftime break. Really not a whole lot to speak of in that first half. 5 total shots between the two teams. None of them on target, unfortunately. Really one half chance, I would say. Maybe it's a quarter chance, a half chance if we're being nice. A header that was flicked over the bar from South Georgia Tormenta on a recycled corner kick opportunity. Other than that, tough sledding, a lot of long balls, and very balanced possession and interplay that has mostly remained between the 18-yard boxes here in the home opener for Chattanooga Red Wolves. Still looking for their first win of the league season, but they are off to an undefeated start. 2 draws in 2 for the Red Wolves, and 1 win, 2 losses coming into this one for Tormenta. This is their first road match in all competitions this season. It's been the friendly confines of Southeast Georgia, and they got a send-off today from the team chef, Jolene, as she sent the boys off onto the bus, or yesterday rather, when they made the 5.5-hour journey from Georgia across to Tennessee. And Coach Ian Cameron made sure to tell his players that that kind of support from the staff at Tormenta is part of what makes that club so special, and it was worthy of a shout-out. Miss Jolene doing a great job and keeping those players fed and keeping them motivated as they headed into Chattanooga for this one. Red Wolves coming off of course, that emotional win in penalty kicks against Chattanooga FC in the Open Cup. Tormenta likewise with a 3-2 win in the second round. They will both face USL Championship sides in the third round of the Open Cup. So these couple of league matches in between, certainly a big opportunity and a platform for these two sides to jump out from the bottom of the standings, where Tormenta entered this match 10th and Chattanooga 11th. Although, of course, we haven't played a whole lot of games, and there are some pretty unbalanced schedules so far in the season. But it's Tormenta early on, possessing along the back. Kasanzu has a wrap on that left hand. We saw him go down awkwardly, so good to see that he's able to continue. Certainly looks like he was in need of the halftime break when it arrived. But no changes needed to be made for either team at the break. There was one first half switch forced by the injury for Tormenta to Taylor Gray. Aaron Walker is the man playing on the right wing for Tormenta. We saw in the first half, right back, Oscar Jimenez, the USL Championship veteran who is in his first season with Tormenta, kind of given a bit more attacking freedom. He's here taking the throw in because Walker very capable of sliding into that defensive position if needed for a little bit of cover. Certainly providing a different dynamic on that side for Tormenta. If you watched any of their opening matches, 5 goals in 3 games in the league so far. A lot of it goes through those wingers, and Jonathan Nienjo, Niall Reed-Steven unavailable from the start today. Gray was the man put into the starting lineup and then forced out early on as well. Certainly has changed the dynamic for Tormenta in attack. We also saw them play out of the back a bit less than usual in the first half, but they seem to be playing it with a bit more confidence here in the second half. Pedro Hernandez got a touch to it before Kasanzu. The yellow card out for the Tanzanian defender. Case of bad timing as much as anything, in my eyes, as we looked at that tackle. Replays presented by Rodriguez Dentistry. Score a winning smile. Wasn't overly dangerous, and not sure exactly where Hernandez was going on that play. That would have been a particular threat to Tormenta, but in Amin Hadzic's defense, he has been consistent in the way that he's given out the bookings tonight. That is our 3rd of the match. All 3 have come in what was the player's first foul. nonsense refereeing, to be sure. So just something to keep an eye on as we get set for this set piece. Post clearance was difficult for Alondre, but he did a good job walling off Hernandez, and it went last off the Red Wolves man. Cabral picks his head up, looking for a left-footed pass that's intercepted by Kimball Jackson. Kinsner out into the stands. Sanzu whips it over to Jimenez. Dealt with it well. The help of Walker. Alondre's pass into the channel a bit too far in front. Jimenez did a good job to block the clearance. He wins it back in a dangerous spot for Tormenta. Walker on it again, working against Jackson, and the nutmeg. Walker into the box. Cabral, was it a handball? Penalty! Declan Waters incensed. He's arguing that his hand was tucked into his body. That's the motion. It definitely came from a very short distance. Walker starts it all off with a brilliant piece of skill. I have to say that's a bit harsh given the distance. And Waters' hand was definitely inside the frame of his body, but it provides a block on the shot from Cabral, and this provides a penalty kick to Tormenta to be taken by Mason Tunbridge. 2 goals this season, 1 for 1 from the spot. Chattanooga Red Wolves, both their Open Cup games went to penalties, but Ricardo Harris was in goal. He is also the goalkeeper coach, and you wonder if he might have given some tips to Jason Smith, starting goalkeeper who strides along his line, working against the Englishman. Tunbridge from 12 yards converts. 1-0 Tormenta, a lead on the road, and the deadlock finally broken. Tunbridge vaulting to the top of the League One Golden Boot race early here in the season, his 3rd of the campaign in Tormenta's 4th match. This is why it happened. Replays presented by Rodriguez Dentistry. Hard to say that the punishment matched the crime, but Tunbridge with conviction from the spot, giving Tormenta the lead. Cold as ice and telling the fans to slow their roll behind that Chattanooga goal. Interesting strat from Jason Smith. It looked like he stayed middle and was trying to wait on Tunbridge just in case he decided to keep things down the middle. It is such a tough guessing game for the goalkeepers. You have 3 different possibilities, left, right, or center. Certainly expects the attacking player to convert. Tunbridge did just that. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League and more. As the ball fought for in the box. Waters trying to make up for that penalty. It's Hernandez skying it over the top. And I remind you that everything I said before available on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Battling it out. Join us at 4 p.m. Eastern as undefeated San Antonio FC takes on Western Conference rival Phoenix Rising FC. That is tomorrow on CBS. Tunbridge spotted Smith out. Audacious. But we've seen it already in the league this season. None other than Terzaghi pulling one of those off for Richmond Kickers a couple match days ago. Tunbridge liked his odds. We got some contact in the box there on Pedro Hernandez. No claims really. Some half-hearted shouts from the fans behind the goal. Facing a bit of adversity for their side here in the home opener, and a poor giveaway from Alon Dre, but a shot to match from Zaire Vasquez, which Pack palms down and fights the pressure from Hernandez. Tormenta want to play it out of the back. They will with Buana. Bit off a bit more than he could chew as John Oak will drop it to Jason Smith. He's spotted a man forward here. Coming inside, Ramos. Dueling with Alves. And getting the better of him, it seems, but a smart pass out to find Alon Dre. He can't link up with Tunbridge. Walefi on the spin. Red Wolves starting to play with a bit more urgency. 4 minutes after a penalty converted by Mason Tunbridge. Harshly given against the home side. They've sprung into life a bit. They were scoreless last week, Red Wolves, and they didn't even manage a shot on target in that match. Just .63 XG combined between their first two league matches. They've got 0.35 so far today. Goals have been tough to come by, and you wonder if some changes might be in store for Scott McKenzie as we approach the 60-minute mark. Don't forget Matt Bentley, their leading scorer, is on the bench today. Kinsner eventually figures it out with Walefi, heads it through, and then Waters smartly back to John Oak. Ramos has some space. He shrugged off Gabriel Alves, going down in the box, and a penalty for Red Wolves. Just 5 minutes after one was given against them on the other end. Amin Hadzic equaling the playing field and giving Chattanooga a chance to tie this up from the spot. Kinsner spotted that long ball, and you wonder how Ramos had so much space to attack. It looks like a pretty clear foul to me from Alves. Now the question is, was it inside the box where the contact took place? No video review here, so it won't really matter, and I'm sure the Red Wolves fans will feel justified after their questionable handball on the other end. This sets up Omar Hernandez, the Dalton, Georgia native. Grew up 31 miles down the road from CHI Memorial Stadium. and played in none other than the Chattanooga FC Academy, but he's become the star man for Red Wolves, as his captain Walefi gets a talking to here. Ramos running a bit of interference with Austin Pack just to keep him off of Hernandez's case. Omar Hernandez has the lone goal for Red Wolves this season. And he squares off with Austin Pack. Omar Hernandez goes low and finishes. A shush to Austin Pack. 1-1 between Red Wolves and Tormenta. Second half sparked to life from dueling penalty kicks. And it's game on once again, 30 minutes to go. Replays presented by Rodriguez Dentistry as we get another look at the foul that led to it. Let's keep a look at the contact. That left boot from Alves appeared to be outside the box, but the contact does continue into the box, which justifies a penalty, and wow, Pack guessed right. But you have to give credit to Omar Hernandez, the 23-year-old, taking it like a veteran, keeping it low, keeping it hard, and under the fingertips. The long-established League One goalkeeper, Austin Pack. Meantime, you can see that Kimball Jackson has been removed from the action. It looks like Matt Bentley has made his way onto the field as Red Wolves look to push on for more here. And now a bit of shoving between Tunbridge and a Red Wolves player on the far side. Some tensions boiling over. The temperature rising in Chattanooga. They're just rounding up those subs for Red Wolves now that the referee has calmed down this situation. We had Jordan Iambila who came in for Jackson, so that was a like-for-like swap at the wing-back position, and then Bentley came on for Zaire Vasquez up top. So no shift in the formation or the system for Chattanooga, just a couple of sets of fresh legs. Don't forget that Chattanooga had one less day of rest coming into this match off of the Open Cup, and they played the full extra time, going all the way to penalties against Chattanooga FC. So you saw Bentley. And as soon as he returns to his feet, he will go in the referee's book. Cabral moved to laughter by the absurdity of that decision in his eyes. Tunbridge wishes there was a review, and you can see the referee saying, with a smile on his face, "You went down a little easy, my friends." We'll get another look here, courtesy of our Rodriguez Dentistry's replay. Sebastian Vivas getting involved, and great footwork from Tunbridge. I have to say, I think the referee has used an eagle eye in that occasion. It was a dangerous tackle, though, with Knapp coming in. He's on a yellow card from the first half, so if that had gone the other way, not only could that have been a penalty, but a potential red card. So a huge swing there. But again, I think a good spot from the referee is Tunbridge trying to take advantage of the fact that he's already pointed to the spot twice in the second half. Tried to make it a third in 10 minutes. Buckle up, fans. EPB Fiber Optics delivers the fastest internet speeds in Chattanooga over the area's only 100% fiber optic network. Find the recklessly fast speed your home or business needs at epb.com. Cabral into the feet of Sebastian Vivas, the Argentine striker who gives it away here. Pedro Hernandez had a touch through, and the referee has given this against the Red Wolves attacker, who barreled into Kasanzu. And similarly to that last play against Tunbridge, it's the attacking player penalized. Unfortunately for Kasanzu, grabbing the back of his left leg after it was his left hand that suffered some harm in the first half. Gotta get another look at that one. It was a quick turnover. And I have to say, to me, it looks like Kasanzu has gotten in the way of Hernandez. The referee giving the foul against the Chattanooga man. And the concern right now is for Kasanzu, affectionately known as Simba by his teammates and coaches alike. A player who has dealt with quite a bit of hardship and injury throughout his career, never quite stuck in the USL Championship. Made 21 appearances in 3 seasons at the D2 level before finding a new home with South Georgia. Trying to run this off. And a moment for us all to catch our breaths. Left feet. Knapp loses out to Yaniv Bazzini. He's got room to run into and tackled down by Walefi. No whistle forthcoming from our referee. And likewise on the tackle against Waters, but then he stabs back in. He wants a dive on Jimenez. Referee really has taken center stage in this second half. Coca-Cola is the exclusive soft drink of Chattanooga Red Wolves. As we see Michael Knapp involved in just about every play. He's truly an all-action midfielder. And looking a bit worse for wear here. This has been a scrappy matchup. A number of players dealing with injuries throughout this match. But if the first half lacked for a bit of drama, you certainly can't make that statement about the second half. Dueling penalties, one for Tormenta to start off our scoring. Then in return, 5 minutes later, Red Wolves got one as well, converted by Tunbridge for the visitors and Omar Hernandez for the home side. That's how we got to 1-1 here on ESPN+. Tunbridge, the goal scorer, gets us back underway. Evidence of our sloppy match is foul number 26 of this contest goes against Alves, the man who gave away the penalty to Red Wolves a few minutes ago. And Knapp has re-entered the field of play just out of our shots, so good news there for Red Wolves. He and Walefi have had a busy job in the center of the park today, working against that group of Tormenta midfielders. The Tormenta team forced to keep their action more central in this one, without the likes of Jonathan Nianjo and Niall Reed-Steven from the start, who have provided great play on the wings this season. Trip comes in late. It was Ayambila caught with his foot in the cookie jar, taking down Alon Dre. Pack launching it up to Vivas. A man who Red Wolves will need no introduction to, Sebastian Vivas. He scored 3 times in the 2 games between these teams last season, finishing as Tormenta's top goal scorer and their player of the season as nominated by the club. And yet, no honors from the USL in terms of the all-league teams for the striker. It's been off to a little bit of a slower start this season, partly thanks to the brilliance of Yaniv Bazzini in his young career, but certainly a man with a bit of a chip on his shoulder after last year. Vivas, and a fine record against these opponents. So Knapp, after recovering briefly from his injury, now will be withdrawn, as will the goal scorer, Omar Hernandez. He was our player to watch tonight and justifies that with a goal from the penalty spot. On to replace him, Alassane, the under-20 Ghana international with a fresh haircut today. He looks like he means business. Still looking for his first professional goal, but he's been a bright spark in the last few games for Chattanooga Red Wolves. Was particularly impressed with him against CFC in that rivalry match this week. He wears number 40 up top for Red Wolves. Bentley able to locate the ball after a moment of confusion. Walker seeing it out of play. Enough up the pitch this time to give Ramos an opportunity to send this one into the box as he loosens up the hands and comes the ball to his liking. Loads the cannon. It's retorted by Aaron Walker. Vivas, great control, has another man to beat and doesn't do it against Jono. Alassane. To Ayambila. Loan from Miami FC, storms forward from left back. Inside the box, Hernandez. Bentley Never got his hips around it. Now we'll see Ian Cameron respond with a couple of changes of his own. JP Perez coming on alongside the League One veteran Connor Doyle. Jimenez departs. So does Mason Tunbridge. Our two goal scorers tonight have been withdrawn, having done their part. So who will step up and be the hero with 15 minutes remaining from CHI Memorial Stadium? Will there be a winner? Or will Chattanooga end with their 5th straight draw after 90 minutes? Certainly been the pattern. I get the sense there could be some late drama in this one. Pedro Hernandez. Alassane taken off of it. Tormenta allowed to continue momentarily. And it's brought back by Amin Hadzic. Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Knocked out by Declan Waters. Walker prodding. Header, back post, and Vivas has done it again against the Red Wolves. A stoppage time winner in the Open Cup, and he puts Tormenta ahead again. The 14th goal of his Tormenta career moves Sebastian Vivas into 3rd place all time among Tormenta goal scorers. It was a beauty at that. Plenty of work to do on a cross that was a little bit behind him, but the whip of the neck, a goal scorer's finish. Vivas, the man on the spot for Tormenta. On the field, smart decisions win games. Off the field, smart decisions save lives. If you've been drinking, don't drive. Pass your keys to a sober friend. Call a ride share or take public transit. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. A reminder from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Tormenta looking for a happy ride home and in position with 12 minutes to see out, plus whatever stoppage time may come. I'm not a certified referee, but I would suggest that we are nearing double digits already at this point. So we will see, but don't expect this game to end after 90, I'll put it that way. We've had a couple of penalty kicks, plenty of injuries and stoppages. And what more? Ramos. Alassane rises. It needs a clearance from Tormenta. Alves provides. Walefi. Again, that pitch just making it so hard for players to carry the ball at their feet. Vivas attempting a bold cross-field pass to Walker, and he almost pulled it off, but again, the ball caught behind Joshua Ramos.
Fans, stick around for autographs and pictures from your Chattanooga Red Wolves players upon conclusion.
Dre to Connor Doyle. Dre, loose touch off the right thigh, and he goes in from behind on Matt Bentley. Got a tiny bit of the ball, but also a good chunk of the man, and he's stayed down here as we cross the 80-minute mark. Similar to what I mentioned about Knapp, who was substituted earlier, Dre, one of those players, having seen a lot of Tormenta this season, that I always see spend a lot of time on the turf simply because he is in every single tackle. This man just flies around the pitch, the product of Florida Gulf Coast, trying to prove himself here in his first professional season. 4 goals, 3 assists in 44 appearances in college. Made the first team all-conference last fall. And his aggression without the ball was one of the top qualities pointed out by Ian Cameron upon his signing in the offseason. He looks like he'll be fit to continue here. Numbers dwindling on both sidelines. And add another minute of stoppage to whatever we may tack on to the end here. Ramos against his old team. Ooh, a timely tackle, and then he goes down on contact from Alves. That was the exact same collision that caused the Red Wolves penalty. Now Gomez picking it up. He's got Alassane and Ramos for company. Now it's the Ghanaian. Cutting inside, big touch. Looking for a shooting space, and none provided to him as Bazzini did the defensive work. All 10 outfield players behind the ball for Tormenta. They stagger their way forward, and then it's given away back to Red Wolves. Ayambila can pick out a cross. Couldn't find Alassane at the back post. Kinsner stepping out from the back, clipped it in towards Bentley. Rising higher was Callum Stretch, who's had a good job tonight, filling in for Prepolita. It's Hernandez. He has been that close on a number of occasions tonight, either to getting that final shot off or to drawing a penalty. He's waving on his teammates, urging on the fans. 83rd minute of action, and Chattanooga still looking for a response after the Vivas go-ahead goal. Alassane sticking his foot in the turf. The Red Wolves dance around the penalty spot. Whipped in low. Dealt with by Tormenta. Referee will stop the play here for a substitution. Ramos making his way off, and on comes Johnny Philippe, the arch creator for this Chattanooga side. Missed 31 games due to injury last season after a 7-assist campaign the year before. And in the short stints that we've seen him this year, he's already been back to his creative best. Inside the top 10 in chances created early on this season, 5 to his name. Could he be the spark for Scott McKenzie's side? With 6 minutes plus stoppage time left to play here in the home opener against Tormenta. Cabral. Doyle to no one in particular. Tormenta just hoping to see this over the line. Check out the new 2025 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit, along with t-shirts, scarves, novelty items, and much more at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. Bentley flicks it on. Hernandez had the ball through to Alassane, who's pulled back to it, but still calls for a dance from Perez. Penalty to Red Wolves. The third of the second half. Brilliant from Alassane. Had JP Perez in a blender. And it's the fullback sign from none other than Chattanooga FC. Off the bench as a second half sub, twisted up by Alassane. Let's take another look. Replays presented by Rodriguez Dentistry. A step over once, a cut inside, and that's where he fooled him. A little push from behind was enough to send him to the turf. And you could argue about the contact, but the bottom line is Alassane did enough to get him off balance. And once Perez has his back-facing goal, he's in a horrible position as a defender. So credit to the 19-year-old Ghanaian, Alassane, coming on and making the difference. Walefi took the ball at first and in his captain role protected it for Matt Bentley. Looks like the number 10 will take the spot kick here. Omar Hernandez took the first tonight for Red Wolves. He has since been substituted. Like John Oak and one of the Tormenta players getting the talking to from the referee as Bentley prepares for this one. Pack went the right way last time, dove down to his left, but was unable to stop Hernandez's penalty. Bentley, the only man to score in both of Red Wolves shootouts in the Open Cup. He's done it before. Pack points to his left, dives to his right, and we are level once again. 2-2, Matt Bentley with his first goal in the league, third goal in all competitions. Replays presented by Rodriguez Dentistry as we get another look at the play that set up the spot kick. Alassane working against Perez. A little touch as he worked past him. Pack trying to play the mind games, and once again, he's guessed right. Once again, just unable to stop a blast, a laser of a penalty from Bentley. Seems like that shootout experience from the Open Cup has really paid dividends for Chattanooga in this one. 2 for 2 from the spot and 2 excellently taken penalty kicks. Philippe ticks it through for Alassane. Bentley pressuring, Pack able to angle it correctly high into the night sky in Chattanooga. A frantic finish on the cards. There will be a lot of stoppage time. Hernandez. A cross that came dangerously close to being a shot. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. And up from Simba Kasanzu. 90 minutes on the scoreboard, and there will be 7 more to play. 3 penalty kicks given in the second half, a rash of injuries, and plenty of substitutes, some who have made the difference. Bazzini rockets it off of Vivas. No lefty anywhere will do for Chattanooga. And which team will push harder for a winner here? And almost coming through for Tormenta. Another look at that opportunity. Seemed to be setting himself up. Ended up working out well for Cabral, but tough to get his whole body around and over that one. He's doing his defensive work as well here in the 92nd minute. He's played every minute of the League One campaign. Gabriel Cabral, captain in every sense of the word for Tormenta. Alassane with some contacts, but Red Wolves play on, and he streaks down the left flank. A battle to be tested against Simba, and he loses out to the Tanzanian defender. Like I said, the last 4 matches have all provided at least 4 goals combined between the two teams. We matched that total today, even though we haven't hit our average of 5.8 across those contests, but the drama arrived late in this one. It was 0-0 at the break. And a game that has been scrappy and dominated by dead balls and fouls and 50-50 decisions has resulted in 3 penalty kicks, 1 goal from open play, and a split scoreline. Cabral. Aaron Walker can't find space for a shot. Opting to go out wide to Alves, who assisted Vivas' goal in the second half. Gabriel Alves, the Marshall man, swinging it in. Bazzini stabs. It was knocked behind by Jordan Ayambila. Corner, says the referee. You just thought that Bazzini might sneak in there. He's got that nose for goal on loose balls. He's got those long limbs. He provided the crucial assist to Vivas in the Open Cup around this point in the game. Stoppage time. Who will come alive? There's contact at the back post that holds up the taking of this corner. Vivas and Philippe getting involved. And Hadzic with his eye closely on it. Alves can reset the corner. Back post ball. Jono clears to the top of the area. Cabral. Deflection by Bentley. Loose ball finally cleared, and well done by Red Wolves. Alassane has Bentley through the middle, spots him, can't find him. Went for the Trivella pass, and the connection wasn't pure enough. Not enough texture on that. Bentley was home free for a one-on-one with Austin Pack, and with his goal-scoring form, you would have put the house on a finish if Alassane had put it anywhere in his vicinity. Big chance to go begging in stoppage time for the home side to win it. Pedro Hernandez, round the corner. Philippe can't track it down. .90 seconds to go. Deep black sky above CHI Memorial Stadium. Foreboding what may be one opportunity. Launched high, sent away by John Ope. It's been immense in the air. Alves needs to speed things up for Tormenta. The away side running out of time. Will there be one last chance in this one? Alassane gonna track it down. Danger here for Dre. It skews off of his shin, and Omar Gomez will be able to keep it in play. No, he won't, but a quick throw to come. 20 seconds left in stoppage time. Ayambila to give it one last hurl into the 18-yard box. The referee's checked his watch, and I think everybody knows that this will be the final opportunity. A grin on the face of Jordan Ayambila. It all comes down to this. A topsy-turvy second half, and Chattanooga in the home opener whistled for a foul. The full-time whistle goes. A third draw in the league. 3 out of 3 for Chattanooga Red Wolves. 2-2 your final score, courtesy of 4 second-half goals split between traveling Tormenta and homestanding Chattanooga Red Wolves. That moves them on to 5 games unbeaten to start the campaign. A resilient start for this team, looking to turn things around in Scott McKenzie's 3rd full season. Plenty of discussions to be had with the referee as we check out our player of the match, sponsored by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. And it was Alassane, certainly breaking the speed limit here as he got into a tough position one-on-one with Perez, speeding past, going down, and that led to a penalty kick. The second goal of the match, the last goal that we saw, converted by Bentley to steal a point for his team. The home opener in Chattanooga finishes 2-2. We'll wrap it up with highlights and your full-time stats right after this short break. Thanks for watching.
Why do you always seem to be on that last flight home? Why is the customer always right, even when they're wrong? It's because when it's your business, you're all in. And no one's all in with you like EPB. Only EPB is all in with 100% fiber-fast internet that's always your best value. Plus experts all in to help you 24/7. We're all in Chattanooga, because we're all in this together. EPB for your business. We're all in.
Wise men say only fools rush in,
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
2-2, the final score in the home opener from CHI Memorial Stadium. Chattanooga Red Wolves SC extending their unbeaten run to 5 games in all competitions to start the 2025 season. Up to 3 points now in the league standings as we take a look at our full-time highlights and the story of this one. We have to pick it up in the second half. Matt Bentley was the man to step up and make it 2-2 at full-time. Here's the story of the full-time stats. 21 shots combined, 25 fouls in case you wanted to know how this one played out. And Red Wolves with those 2 penalty kick goals earn the draw despite just 41% possession. And that is no problem for Scott McKenzie the way he likes it. All 5 Chattanooga Red Wolves games this season in all competitions have finished tied after 90 minutes. So that is going to be all for us tonight. What a dramatic second half we saw at CHI Memorial Stadiums. The fans were treated to a classic in the second half between South Georgia Tormenta and Chattanooga Red Wolves. For the rest of our amazing crew, my name is Parker Johnson, signing off from Chattanooga. We'll see you back for more League One action this time next week, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.